Recording in progress.
Welcome to the Busy Moms Fitness, Nutrition, Mindset, and Accountability Community. So, this has been formerly known as the Get Fit With Me Expanding Your Physical and Mental Fitness Group. You guys are going to see some bigger changes in this next week. As you have already started to see in this group, there is some revamping that has happened. And before we get into today's training about the benefits of protein, I want to share with you what to expect next week, because you're going to see more busyness and more action happening in the group. And I don't want you to be thrown off on, is this the new normal? Because it's not. Our normal schedule, just so you are aware, is every single Wednesday I do a post of what I'm going to be training on Thursday. And then on Thursday, I go live at noon. I encourage you to click that Zoom link and jump in the room with us, because if you jump in the room with us, you are going to get more out of these calls. You're going to be able to get one-on-one coaching. You're going to be able to ask any questions you want. And yes, you can do that in the replay and in the live and stuff, but you're going to get more out of it if you can actually be here on Zoom. And I'm going to just make sure that we are live on Facebook, because sometimes things do not always go according to planned. I want to make sure that we're actually up and running. Yep, perfect. We are good and we are live. So with that being the case, next week you're going to see a little bit different. You've probably listened and you've heard me say revamp, kind of change the messaging, who I'm targeting. So I've done a lot of kind of deep dive into the people that I really enjoy working with and the people that I feel like I can really speak to and relate to really well, and it's busy moms. So as you have seen, this group name has changed for Busy Moms. That doesn't mean if you are not a busy mom, I'm still gonna let you in as long as you fill out those questions, and I'll have a conversation with you to make sure that what I'm offering in this group is for you. I've had a few of you actually reach out to me in email and say, I'm not a busy mom, but I'm a busy grandma. Does this group still work for me? Absolutely. Because the tips and tricks that I'm going to teach you in here and the habits we're going to build are ones that will work for everyone. They'll just need a little bit more specific tweaking. So next week, what to expect? You are going to see me go live without a Zoom link for you to jump on. So it's just going to be me going live on Tuesday. On Tuesday, I'm going to do a quick live video of me just explaining what the new vision of this group is. What is the point of this group and what is the vision? On Wednesday, you're going to see me go live, and I'm going to be talking about the 4 pillars that I have, or some of you might have seen that the guide section in this group has kind of been updated and names have been changed. So I'm going to be talking about what those 4 guide sections are, how to use it, and why I'm talking about it. And that final day is Thursday, noon. That is going to be our normal training time. So the only thing that's different next week is I'm going to be going over the new vision for the group and our 4 pillars. That's all. Nothing you guys have to do with it. There's no Zoom link for you to join. It's just me talking and sharing. That is one time when it is just going to be the Morgan show. But I still encourage you, when you see on Facebook Morgan's going live, go watch. So you know what the vision of this group is. Same thing with the pillars. You know what to do with the pillars in the guide sections. So if you are watching right now and you have any questions at all, drop them in the comments. Let me know. And I'm happy to answer them. Hi, Linda. I see you're on. You liked the video. Happy to have you here. So as we get into this, I want to remind you that I don't want this to be a platform or a group where I'm just up here teaching all the time. If you are able to ever click that Zoom link and jump on into the Zoom room, that is opportunity for free coaching every single week. I will answer any and all questions that I am able to live. And if I'm not able to answer them live, we will meet behind the scenes so I can get you your answers. Same thing goes. I get noon is not always the best time for people depending on your profession. So watch on Facebook. Let me know that you're here by dropping live in the comments. Or if you're watching later on, drop a replay so I know. And continue to follow along as I ask questions. Participate. This video in this chat lives on. So stay connected with it and you're going to get the most out of it. We don't just learn here. We learn, we take a piece, and we implement it. And then we create consistency around it. So we are talking about protein today. And I'm going to be giving you 5 tips and 5 tips / benefits of protein. And I want you to just take one of them today. Because I can sometimes teach a lot and I can sometimes fire hose. I know I can. But it's because I want to be able to share anything and everything I can with you. But that being said, I am that person that if I get fire hosed, I get overwhelmed and I don't do any of it. So as you're listening today, really just think about what is that one thing that is going to stick out to you, that is going to be that insight, that takeaway, that thing that you're going to take and you're going to remember as you leave here. And if it's an action, implement it into your daily life. I'm going to drop the Zoom link one more time in the comments here. And then I've got one more thing to say before we get into it. I am going to also be adding an ad event link. So some of you guys may know what ad event is. You may have seen it in the emails. What it is, it's a link where you can click it and you can add these calls to your digital calendar. And you can add it to Apple, Microsoft, Google. I think just about every single digital calendar provider, you can click the link and it will be added automatically. In that event, you'll see the name of our group. You will also always have that Zoom link. So one of your goals this year is to make it to these trainings, is to make it to these coaching calls. Put it on your calendar. Use that ad event link that I'm going to drop right now and add it to your digital calendar right now so that you have it. Okay, now I want to know, as you guys are watching the live right now and you're watching the replay, let me know who you are, where you're from in the world, because we've got people from all over. We've got people from Washington, we've got people from Texas, we've got people from Michigan, we've got people from Maine. I want to know who you are, where you're from, and what your favorite source of protein is. And if you don't have a favorite, what's the one you tend to gravitate towards most? Because we need to make sure we have protein in our diets. And some of us may be like, I don't know what my favorite source is. I don't really know what a protein is. That's okay. I've got a whole nother training that I'm going to be doing, breaking down protein specifically. I will be talking about certain types of proteins, lean proteins today. But really, today's topic is the benefits of incorporating protein in our diet. And we have five tips or 5 benefits up there. So why is protein important is the first question that we need to answer today. And it is, protein plays a role in the creation and maintenance of every single cell in our body. It fuels our cells and powers our body. So if we are not consuming protein in any way, we are not going to have the energy to do things. Carbs are the same way. We need the carbs for our brains to function the correct way. It is important for individuals to consume protein every single day. Daily protein intake plays a role in keeping your cells in good shape and should be part of your daily health maintenance. So something to think about here, and I don't know, some people think this way, some people don't, so I like to bring it up. Let's say Monday you eat a lot of protein. Awesome. You cannot not eat protein on Tuesday. You have to eat protein every single day. It's not I'm only going to eat it on Mondays and I'm not going to eat it the rest of the week. Protein is something that needs to be consumed daily. And it's made up of amino acids, which are commonly known as the building blocks. And because they're attached to long chains in our body to help build muscles and make us stronger, it is considered a macronutrients. Macronutrients are carbs, fat, and proteins. You guys have heard me talk about that in our balanced meals training. And if you haven't and you're new, let me know and I can get you tagged in that training that we did, because it's super important to know what types of foods need to be on our plates. So we need to have a certain amount of protein per day, which is based on your weight and your activity level, so that you can keep maintenance in your muscles. That's not even about growing and making your muscles stronger. That's just about maintenance for every single day that you need for your muscles and your body. Any questions around that? I know kind of when I dive sometimes in that scientific type of stuff, it can be a kind of daunting. Hi, Lynn, I see you here from DeWitt. Hello. So protein is something you have to consume every single day. The amount of protein that you need is determined by your weight and your activity level. And anyone who is listening and who wants to figure out that exact amount of protein in a range that you need, just drop protein in the comments and we'll set up a quick 15-minute phone call. I'll get your information, I'll do the calculation, and I'll get you your numbers. And then we'll set you up with a plan to make sure you're getting that amount in. Because some of us may be thinking, I'm eating a lot, and when we look at the numbers, we maybe are not eating enough. So protein is essential. It is a macronutrient. It's something that we need every single day. We need healthy fats every single day. We need healthy carbs every single day. We need healthy proteins, because without those, our body cannot function. Any questions? Awesome. So if you come up with questions as I'm talking, please drop them in the chat. So like I said, I will be watching the Facebook chat and I will be making sure that things get answered, whether it's here live or after. 5 benefits of protein. First one, build. Protein is important. They are the building blocks of bones, muscle, cartilage, and skin. In fact, our hair and our nails are composed mostly of protein. So if you are someone who maybe has some flimsy nails, or your hair tends to break off a lot, or you're someone who's really prone to like maybe breaking a bone or always having some muscle aches, or your skin's maybe not super clear, things like that, we can look at our protein intake. Are we getting enough protein? And is the protein that we're eating high quality? Is it a lean protein that has higher protein than it is fat? And it's something to look at. And like I said, we'll talk about more of certain types of proteins and those categories in a different training. We're just kind of talking about the benefits today. So protein is really important for building our body, building that foundation so that we can be strong. The second thing, and the second benefit of protein, is repair. So we've built our body up. We've done a really good job of eating protein. It's going to build our body. Well, protein is also going to repair our body. Our body uses protein to build and repair tissue, which is going to speed up our recovery post-injury or post-exercise. So some of you may be like, oh, is that why people have protein shakes after workouts? Yes, because when we are working out, essentially what is happening is we are making very, very micro tears in our muscle. I know it doesn't sound very good. I don't like that word because it doesn't sound like a fun thing, but it is. When we do a squat, we're making micro tears in our muscle. And if we do enough, what happens is our muscles become sore. And if we don't have a source of protein post-workout, what happens is it just takes longer for those micro tears to kind of repair itself, which just means you're sore for a little bit longer. Whereas if you are able to incorporate lean proteins and a decent amount of protein post-workout and amino acids, it's going to help you heal those tears faster so you're not as sore the next day. So if you're someone who's like, I am always so sore, are you eating protein after? Take a look at that. See if you're actually getting your protein in post-workout. I can tell when I do and when I don't. Sometimes walk a little funny if I do not get the right amount of protein in. And then also post-injury, we're doing stress to the body. We're doing stress usually when it's an injury, whether it's tendon, ligament, muscle, bone, whatever it is, any sort of injury is putting stress on the body. Proteins are there to help repair that stress and whatever has happened to that body. So build and repair are the first 2 benefits that you want to remember while you're consuming protein. Hi, Sheila. Great to have you on. Next one, regulate. Protein plays an important role in hormone regulation, especially during the transformation and development of cells during puberty. So puberty, menopause, any of these big hormonal transitions in our life, protein is an important aspect. Because if we are not having enough protein, our body cannot regulate things as easily. Same thing, if all I'm eating is protein and I'm not eating any carbs or fat, our body's gonna have to work a lot harder. Whereas if I'm eating good amount of protein and I'm balanced with good carbs and good fats, my body's gonna be able to regulate and metabolize a little bit quicker as well. So it's super important in hormone regulation. So take a look at that. If maybe you've been struggling with some hormone stuff, talk to your doctor about it. See if increase in protein, or maybe you're eating way too much protein. I think I've run into maybe like 1 or 2 people that's eating an excessive amount of protein when they shouldn't. Talk to your doctor. Make sure, or let's sit down together. Let's figure out how much protein you actually need and make sure we're getting within that range there. And that we have foods that will help get us in that range. Any other question? Any questions before I move on? Sheila says, good to know about build and repair protein, hormonal transition, protein helps. Yes. And I've had one of our accountability program ladies, she actually asked about menopause and we had a great conversation on it. So if you guys want to learn about menopause, and that's something kind of like how strength building and protein and all that kind of moves together, I'm more than happy to chat with that. We do talk about that in our accountability program. So number 4, helping with maintaining a healthy weight and curbing hunger. When protein is paired with fiber, it helps us feel fuller longer. So some of you have probably been doing some diets. Maybe some of you are just working on just eating really high quality foods. Whatever type of nutrition plan you have decided to follow, the biggest thing that I like to stress, and if you've listened to me for any sort of time, you know this. We always want a carb, a fat, and a protein. And carbs can come in fruits, vegetables, starchy carbs, noodles. They can come in whatever. Carbs can come in many different forms. Fats can come in many different forms, and so can proteins. But protein right there is what's going to help us make us feel fuller longer. And when we have a balanced meal of carb, fat, and protein, our body is going to eat through the carbs, eat through the fats, and then eat through the protein. So if we are eating a carb only meal, we're gonna have a blood sugar spike and a blood sugar crash. Whereas if we have a carb, a fat, and a protein, we're gonna be able to feel fuller longer, and making sure that that carb has some fiber in it. So vegetables have fiber in it, certain breads have fiber in it. Look at that fiber intake. How much are you getting? And when paired with that protein, can make us feel fuller longer, which in turn means we're not gonna have to snack as much, which then means we eat less calories throughout the day, which then means we are probably expending more calories than we are consuming, which then leads to weight loss. Because to keep it all numbers here, and you guys know I don't like counting calories because I don't find that to be sustainable long term. It's a great tool to use for a short period. So when I track, if I know I'm eating, let's say 3,000 calories, but my body's only burning 1,000 calories, I'm going to gain weight, and vice versa. So if I burn 3,000 calories and I'm only eating 2,000, I'm going to lose weight because I'm burning more calories than I am consuming. And protein is a key right there into helping us not have to feel like we have to snack all day long. Awesome, Sheila. I see you need to know how much you need. I will reach out. We will set up a quick 15-minute call. We'll figure out how much protein you need and what types of proteins will fall into that. So our final benefit, and honestly, this list could go on and on, but our final benefit of protein is reducing muscle loss and building lean muscle. As we age, us women specifically, we have a higher chance of osteoporosis. And the less impact and the less strength training we do, the higher chance of having osteoporosis we have. Well, if we are eating high quality proteins, what's going to happen is we are going to reduce our muscle loss, which means we're going to stay strong. When we work out, we're going to actually keep that strength that we've built. We're not going to feel like I'm not gaining any muscle, I'm feeling super weak all the time. Protein's going to help reduce that muscle loss that usually occurs as we age. What it's also going to do is it's going to give us lean muscle. And if we have lean muscle, and kind of just think about in a very lean muscle is the good muscle. We want lean muscle in our body. We want to feel lean. So protein helps with that. So I want to know, out of these 5 benefits of protein, build, repair, regulate, help maintain, or reducing muscle loss and building lean muscle, which one stands out to you as I did not know that? What was the thing that you're like, I did not know protein did that? So as you guys are dropping in the chat, I do have, it's not a benefit, it's just something that you guys have heard me talk about a lot today, lean protein. So I wanted to dive into it and just give you some examples of what that looks like, just so you're not kind of out in the blue like, what the heck is lean protein? Because I've said it so many times. Lynn says, build lean muscle. Awesome. It's funny when we start to see these things, these little importances and these benefits pop out, which sometimes is that extra driver of, I need to make sure I have protein at this meal. So lean protein, according to the USDA's definition, has to contain less than 10 grams of fat and fewer than 4.5 grams of saturated fat per portion. And that portion is 100 grams. So For instance, lean protein is also going to help lower your cholesterol, support brain function, and promote a healthier metabolic rate, which if we can maximize our metabolism, we're going to be able to maintain a healthier body weight. Yes, that still did not answer my question of what are lean proteins. I know. Lean proteins, this is just a list of about 15 of them. Turkey, chicken, lean ground beef, beans and legumes, low-fat milk, plain yogurt, salmon, tuna, tofu, cottage cheese, pork loin, eggs, liver, edamame, quinoa. So think about just that list right there. How many of those do you enjoy eating? How many of those are you currently eating? Maybe it's just chicken. Chicken, I feel like, is one we always migrate towards. But how many of those could you possibly incorporate? And think, fistful. Just a fistful. That's it. I actually believe it's a deck of cards is a serving of protein is how they do it. But a deck of cards is kind of like the size of my fist. So, so what questions do we have here? And I want to remind you that we've talked about protein. And if at any point you're like, I don't know, I don't know how much I need, help me. Drop protein in the comments. And what I'll do is I'll reach out to you via Messenger. We'll set up a quick 15-minute phone call, Zoom, whatever is best for you. I'll get your weight, I'll get your activity level, and I'll figure out your range, and then we will get a strategy so that you can make sure you're hitting that protein goal every day. Because remember, protein is not something we just eat on Mondays. We need to have protein every single day. It's a macronutrient. I want to know, as we wrap up here, does anybody have any questions on any more benefits, on any of the benefits that I talked about to build, repair, regulate, helping maintain, reducing muscle loss? Any of those, or just any protein questions in general? I'm gonna refresh. Okay, the other thing is I want to know your biggest insight. What did you take away from today that you're either going to implement, because remember, we are all about implementation in this group. What are you going to implement that I talked about today? And if there's nothing that you've taken away that you're able to implement, that's okay. What kind of has stuck to you like glue? What is that thing you're going to walk away remembering that you may even tell your partner? You may even tell a friend of like, hey, I just learned this today. And maybe that's your implementation, is sharing it so that you remember it. So I want to know insights, takeaways, any questions. And then I want to remind you that next week is going to look a little bit different. You're going to get a few more emails from me, so bear with me just for 1 week. You'll get an email on Tuesday letting you know that I'm going to go live in the group at this time, and we're going to be talking about the vision. In that link, in there will be the link to this Facebook group. So just click that at the time. You will see me go live. If you see that notification on Facebook pop up, Morgan's going live, watch it, interact, figure out what the new vision for this group is, what I'm creating for us in this group, and what this group is going to be, and how to show up the most effectively. Wednesday, you're going to get another email that says, hey, remember, we're going live in the group at X time to talk about the 4 pillars in our guide section. When the Facebook link will be in there, so you can click on that link, or if you're on Facebook and you watch the bubble, Morgan's going live, click it, interact, figure out how to use the guide section, figure out what the 4 pillars are and why I chose those. And then Thursday will be that normal email that you guys always get. So the Wednesday email will be, hey, this is what I'm teaching on tomorrow, and hey, remember I'm going live today. So Wednesday you'll just get 1 email. I'm going to combine it. But then Thursday, you'll get the 1-hour reminder of, hey, we're going live Thursday at noon. And next week, we're actually going to be talking about strength training and how you don't need to dedicate 20, 30, or even an hour of your day to strength training. That we can make strength training happen, goodness, in 10 minutes or less. So we're going to be talking about a little bit about time management next Thursday, as well as strength training, because protein and strength training pair super well together and are very important for longevity. So we're going to kind of pair these together over the next week. As we wrap up, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you have any questions at all, as always, please let me know. And if you know any busy moms that are looking for a group to have support to learn about fitness, nutrition, mindset, and how to actually stay accountable to these things they're learning, invite them into the group. Next week, you'll see kind of an influx of members coming in, and that is because this group is going to grow. And as this group grows, the community grows, and we all get to grow together. So I will see you all next week on Tuesday when I go live talking about the vision of what the Busy Moms Fitness, Nutrition, Mindset, and Accountability Group is going to be for 2023. I'll see you all later.